Now look, today's story is one of those situations that you think can't possibly happen until it does. A California family gathered to say their final goodbyes to their loved one, 44-year-old Joy Espinoza. They walked into the chapel expecting closure, but what they found instead was something straight out of a nightmare. Because when they opened the casket, it wasn't Joy inside. Look, y'all sit back and relax and stay until the end of this episode because we about to dive right in. Welcome back to another episode of Eyes Low, Belly Full. As y'all know, this marks episode 182. Now, imagine that, standing in a funeral home, surrounded by friends and family, and the person lying in the casket is a total stranger. And that's exactly what happened at Forest Lawn, Covina Hills. Now, the family immediately told the staff, who quickly moved them into another room to fix the issue. But here's where things get even worse. The second body they showed them still wasn't Joey. So while being confused, panicking, and heartbroken, the family waited over an hour while the funeral home scrambled to locate the right body. And during that chaos, Joey's uncle collapsed, suffering a heart attack right there at the service. It was even said that he was rushed to the hospital and placed on life support. Now, according to reports, the funeral home later blamed the situation on what they called a scheduling error. A scheduling error, though, for a funeral that nearly cost $20,000. And to make matters worse, the family says the funeral home tried to make things right by offering them $200 in compensation. Can you believe that shit? $200 for the emotional trauma, the ruined service, and the health crisis that followed from his uncle having a heart attack. And the Espinoza family has since filed a lawsuit claiming negligence, emotional distress, and breach of contract.
The big teddy bear, the big heart.
For loved ones of Joey Espinoza,
Had a heart of gold. He was like a son to me.
Instead of mourning his life cut short from heart failure at just 44, they showed up to his funeral and had to live another nightmare.
They didn't know where my nephew's body was.
Joey's aunt, Laura Lavario, says when they got to Forest Lawn in West Covina that morning and entered the room selected for his services, she knew something was very wrong. The flowers they selected were there, but when they looked in the casket,
I noticed the body wasn't my nephew's, and the coffin that we picked out wasn't. I'm thinking, like, what's going on?
Lavario says when staff directed the family to another room, it was also the wrong body. She says it took them over an hour to locate Joey and start the service. And that's when a bad situation somehow got even worse. Amidst the chaos, Laura's husband was so stressed, he had a heart attack in the middle of the chapel.
She told me that I collapsed. I woke up 3 days later out of life support in a hospital. It's the worst experience we've had, you know.
The family is now suing Forest Lawn, who called the situation a scheduling error.
Instead of coming and visiting with their husband and nephew, and instead they're searching for a body.
The family says Forest Lawn offered $200 compensation for a nearly $20,000 service.
When you're spending that much money to a place like Forest Lawn, you would think that they would do things properly.
Telling the funeral home to correct what they call an unthinkable situation.
It was horrible.
They say it wasn't just a mistake. It was a complete failure of respect and professionalism. And sadly, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. Other families across the country have come forward with similar stories of funeral homes mixing up bodies, losing remains, or even gaslighting families when confronted. I mean, it's a painful reminder that even in death, a moment that should be handled with dignity, mistakes can turn grief into trauma. And funeral homes are supposed to be trusted spaces. And when that trust is broken, it leaves scars that money just simply can't fix. Now, I want to hear what y'all think about this situation. Should a scheduling error ever be forgiven in a situation this serious? And do you believe $200 is an apology or insult? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And if this video resonated with you, go ahead and hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up and also subscribe and hit that bell notification for more episodes. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.